Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Najmul Saqib. I am your instructor for the course of Introduction to Computer and Programming. I welcome you all in my course. First of all, I tell you about myself, a little bit my introduction. I did my master's from ComSets Institute of Information Technology, Islamabad campus in 2003, and after finishing my master's, I joined ComSets Institute of Information Technology as a research associate. And then in 2006, I went for higher studies and I finished my PhD from Vienna University of Technology, Austria. I also work as a researcher in University of California, Davis, USA. Now let's start the course. First of all, I will tell you that this is the 4 credit hour course, and in which a 3 credit hour is for lecture and 1 credit hour is for lab. Aim of the course. The course will provide you knowledge about what is a computer system and how does it works, and then we comes to the flow chart, and then we come to the computer programming concept and their implementation in C language. Our major emphasis will be on the computer programming side. The flowchart will help us in building logic. So this is a necessary thing. Flowchart इसलिए ज़रूरी है क्योंकि हमने programming सीखनी है. We want to learn programming, and for that we have to develop first the logic of that programming. So that's why we put some emphasis on flowcharts, and then we move to the computer programming and the concepts and their implementation in C language. And our course majorly focuses on the C programming. The course book that we will follow in C programming is Let Us C book by Yashwant. The edition available in the market is the 9th edition at the moment, and the reference book are Turbo C Programming for PC by Robert Lefort and C Programming for Absolute Beginners. So हम इस कोर्स में जो हम प्रोग्रामिंग का पार्ट है वो लेटर सी से फॉलो करेंगे, लेटर सी के चैप्टर बाय चैप्टर फॉलो करेंगे, एंड वी विल एंड अप एट फाइल इनपुट आउटपुट ऑपरेशन. This is the marks distribution of the course. The assignment will take 10% weightage of the total marks. Quizzes will take 15%, sessional 1 10 and sessional 2 15, and a terminal exam will be of 50% marks. Now let's see the course content briefly. First of all, we will go through the introduction of computers. We will see what constitute a computer, how does computer work, and then we go to the flow chart for building the logic for programming. Then introduction to C programming language. Here I will tell you, I will show you a C program. इस C program को देख के आपको ये पता चलेगा how that program works, what is a program, and what is the output when the program is actually executed. Data types, then we see the data types, variables, and arithmetic operation particular to the C language. Then decision making, if-else statement, if statement, nested if statement, switch statement, conditional operator. So decision making is a kind of thing that you decide which segment of the program is to be executed when a particular condition is true or false. Then we come to the loop, और loop में हम कुछ loops की form है like for loop, while loop, do while loop, and then break and continue statement. So loop is kind of a thing that repeat itself over the period of time. Then arrays, multi-dimensional arrays, and array is something that is that stores the data in a group, and the type of the data must be the same. Either it could be all the integer in a group, or all the floats, or all the characters. Then a user defined function. We will see what is a function, function prototype, function call, and function return type, and a very important recursive function. structures, then array of structures, string, character arrays, string function, and null string. Then we comes to the very important concept in a C programming, that is pointers. Pointers and structures, pointer and functions, pointer to function pointer and array, and then pointer arithmetic. Bitwise operator, the preprocessors, input output functions, this is the file IO. So जब भी आपको I/O word कहीं भी नजर आए, this means that input or output function. So file IO means reading, writing, manipulating, modifying or deleting the content of the file. Then in the last we will come to the dynamic memory allocation. That is also very important concept. So as we have seen from the course outline that our major part of the course emphasize on the C programming language. And in the C programming language, the most important concept is the understanding of the pointers. And when we start studying the pointer, तब आप देखेंगे कि मेरा ज़्यादातर emphasize pointers के ऊपर ही होगा. And during that time you will know that why our major emphasis is on the pointer side. So let's see the today's lecture outline. In today's lecture, I will give you the introduction to computers. In that we will see the various part of the computer system, how does computer works, various storage media and their structure. Then we comes to the computer software. In that we will see what are the operating system softwares and what are the application softwares. And then in the last we will see the understanding of computer operations. How does the computer perform certain operations or regular operations? So introduction to computers. What is a computer? A computer is an electronic device that operates under the control of instruction, that is software. So it accepts data, that is input, and manipulate data, that is a kind of processing, and then generates information, that is output. So for every computer system it needs the list of instructions that exactly specify what task to perform, what kind of input the computer has to take, what kind of processing on that input it has to perform, and what kind of output it has to generate. So this is all these things are told by the software. Either that software could be operating system software or that could be application software. So generally the term is used to describe the collection of devices that function together as a system. So this is the computer system. I have shown some of the pictures. So let's see one by one what are these devices. The first devices you are watching is the monitor, that is the output device. The second device is the printer, that is again the output device. So the monitor gives you output in a soft form. It shows you the execution or the output of your program, and the printer will print that program, so that is called the hard copy. Scanner is also an input device. Keyboard is also an input device. Then mouse is also an input device. Modem can act as an input or output device. Then in the storage devices, so in this box there are certain devices. That white box on the right side that shows certain devices. In that we have a CD-ROM, we have a floppy drive, we have a hard disk. These are the storage devices. Then we have a motherboard, and a motherboard contains a lot of other devices. The major devices are RAM, BIOS, and CPU. Then the speaker, that is also the output device. What task a computer perform? A computer can perform 4 general operations which comprises of the information processing cycle. So what is the information processing cycle? It composed of 4 stages: the input, the processing, and the output, and the storage. So a computer system can take input from the environment or from the user, it processes that input, it generates the information, that is the output, and if it is required to store that information, then that information will be stored in the storage drives. For example, hard disk, flash drive or a CD-ROM. Now अभी हमने previous slide में देखी, मैंने कुछ term introduce की हैं. These are data and information. Now let's see what is the difference between data and information. So computer processing requires data that is given to it during the input phase. And data is the collection of raw facts, figure and symbols. For example, number, words, images, video and sound. These are all different kind of data. Computer manipulate data to create information. So computer do some kind of processing on that data, and what kind of processing it has to do, this must be told by the user or the programmer in the form of a software. So information is organized, meaningful and useful. इसकी एग्जांपल हम इस तरह से ले सकते हैं कि हमारे पास क्लास में लेट्स से 30 और 35 के करीब स्टूडेंट्स मौजूद हैं. उन तमाम स्टूडेंट्स का नेम है. सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ रिकॉर्ड वी हैव? नेम, रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर, एज, CGPA, previous marks. So this is the data of that particular class, right? All the data is available. And what is the information in data? For example, if we process that data and write a program that collect the record of all those students whose GPA is less than 3. Now this is the information. This is the information that we are looking for from that data collection. So इस चीज़ को information हम कहेंगे, क्योंकि हमने इस particular data के pool से कुछ information get कर ली है, and that information, that is the thing that we actually required. So that is the information for us, right? इसकी एक और एग्जांपल इस तरह से ले सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल आप ये कहते हैं कि कितने क्लास में स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिनकी एज 20 प्लस है. सो दिस इज अगेन द इंफॉर्मेशन. Okay. During the output phase, the information is displayed or printed for the user. So displayed means that the information is in the soft form, and printed means that it is in the hard form. So soft form is something that is not touchable, and the hard form is something that is touchable. So something that you touch is the hard form, and something that you won't touch is the soft form. That's why we called software and hardware. So hardware is something जिसको आप छू सकते हैं, और सॉफ्टवेयर एक ऐसी चीज़ है जिसको छुआ नहीं जा सकता, because it executes on the hardware. The information can be put in computer storage for future use. That is the optional stage, that you can store that output information in the storage media for the future use. So why computer is so powerful? Because computers are able to perform information processing cycle with amazing speed. They are reliable. They have very low failure rate. For example, if I assign, अगर मुझसे कहा जाए कि मैंने दो नंबरों को ऐड करना है या मल्टीपल नंबर्स को ऐड करना है, there are thousands of number and I have to add those numbers repeatedly, then it is quite possible कि मैं reliability का जो issue है वो neglected होता जाए. Because इंसानों की जो सबसे जो आदत है वो ये है कि वो कोई भी काम अगर फर्स्ट टाइम करेंगे तो ज़्यादा शौक से करेंगे. अगर वही काम रिपीटेडली बार बार करने को कह दिया जाए so they lose some interest, while computer won't lose any interest because computer do not have any feelings. So that's why they are reliable, they have low failure rate, they are accurate, they are able to store huge amount of data and information because computer have storage devices. They are able to communicate with other computers. So these are all the things that makes the computer very powerful. How computer knows what to do? It must be given a list of instruction called a computer program or software that tells it exactly what to do. Again, computers are not intelligent devices. They don't know what to do. They know all the things in the form of the computer program given to them by the user, by the human beings. So computer को एक सॉफ्टवेयर, एक प्रोग्राम दे दिया जाता है और कंप्यूटर उसी प्रोग्राम को एग्जीक्यूट करता है और जैसा जैसा उस प्रोग्राम में कहा गया है वो उसी तरह से एनवायरनमेंट से या उसी तरह से इंस्ट्रक्शन को एग्जीक्यूट करता है स्टेप बाय स्टेप. Before processing a specific job, the computer program corresponding to that job must be stored in memory. इस चीज़ के ऊपर मैं बाद में आऊँगा कि हार्ड डिस्क से कोई भी प्रोग्राम मेमोरी की तरफ क्यों लाया जाता है. राइट, देयर आर सर्टन स्टेजेस ऑफ द मेमोरी कि सबसे पहले आपके पास जो भी प्रोग्राम होगा दैट इज स्टोर इन द हार्ड डिस्क एंड देन कम्स टू द मेमोरी एंड देन इट इज़ एग्जीक्यूटेड. मैं ये तमाम चीज़ें बाद में डिस्क्राइब करूँगा जब हम तमाम कंप्यूटर के पार्ट्स को देख लेंगे. सो बिफोर प्रोसेसिंग अ स्पेसिफिक जॉब द कंप्यूटर प्रोग्राम corresponding to that job must be stored in the memory. Once the program is executed in the memory, the computer can start the operation by executing the program instruction one by one. So आजकल जो हमारे पास प्रोसेसर हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल डुअल कोर प्रोसेसर्स जिनमें दो कोर्स लगी हुई हैं, दो से ज़्यादा कोर्स लगी हुई हैं, दे आर एबल टू एग्जीक्यूट इंस्ट्रक्शन इन पैरेलल. राइट, सो इन अ टिपिकल प्रोसेसर जो पहले मौजूद होते थे उनमें एक इंस्ट्रक्शन एक टाइम पर एग्जीक्यूट होगी और प्रोग्राम सबसे पहले हार्ड डिस्क से रैम में लाया जाता है एंड देन दैट प्रोग्राम इज एग्जीक्यूटेड. द प्राइमरी कंपोनेंट्स ऑफ कंप्यूटर सिस्टम आर इनपुट डिवाइसेस, central processing unit containing the control unit and arithmetic logic unit, memory, output devices and storage devices. So these are the basic or primary category of the components of the computer system. अब हम बारी बारी हर एक कैटेगरी को डिटेल से देखते हैं और कुछ इसकी डिवाइसेस की एग्जांपल भी देखते हैं. Now the input devices. Keyboard. Using keyboard, data is input by the user manually keying in or typing certain keys. So when you press the key, you are providing input to the computer system. So a keyboard typically has 101 or 105 keys. कुछ कीबोर्ड्स आपने ऐसे भी देखे होंगे जिनमें उर्दू के अल्फ़ाबेट्स होते हैं, जिस तरह कि यहाँ पर स्लाइड में एक कीबोर्ड शो हो रहा है जिसमें उर्दू में अल्फ़ाबेट्स लिखे हुए हैं. सो वी हैव सर्टन सॉफ्टवेयर्स दैट यूजेस उर्दू लैंग्वेज like InPage software. Then mouse is a pointing device which is used to control the movement of the mouse pointer on the screen and to make selection from the screen. अब माउस से इनपुट इस तरह से जाती है कि जब आप माउस को किसी पर्टिकुलर आइकन के ऊपर या किसी पर्टिकुलर फाइल के ऊपर लाके जब आप डबल क्लिक करते हैं, so that is you are providing an input to the computer system or you are instructing the computer to open that file and it opens that file for you. That is one of the example of the input from the mouse. Mouse has 1 or 5 buttons. It has the left click, right click and the scroll button. These are very usual or common mouse. The bottom of the mouse is flat and contains the mechanism that detects the movement of the mouse. Next device is scanner. Scanner scans the documents such as photographs and pages of text When a document is scanned, it is converted into the digital format. So किसी भी तस्वीर को या किसी भी डॉक्यूमेंट को आप कंप्यूटर पे लाना चाह रहे हैं, दैट मीन्स कि आप उसको हार्ड कॉपी से सॉफ्ट कॉपी में कन्वर्ट करना चाह रहे हैं, यू कैन यूज़ अ स्कैनर फॉर दैट. It creates an electronic version of the document that can be viewed and edited on computer. The next device is the microphone, an instrument capable of transforming sound waves into changes in electronic current or voltage used in recording or transmitting a sound. So typically microphone is also input devices जो आपकी sound recording के लिए यूज़ किया जा सकता है. अब microphone stand alone भी आता है और ये headphone के साथ embed हुआ भी आता है. Then central processing unit. Central processing unit contains electronic circuit that cause processing to occur. The CPU, that is central processing unit interprets the instruction to the computer, performs the logical and arithmetic processing operations. So यहाँ पर जो आपको स्लाइड में फोटो या इमेजेस शो किए गए हैं, कुछ प्रोसेसर्स के शो किए गए हैं. प्रोसेसर एक्चुअली बहुत थिन होता है और इसी तरह का ही होता है. So the photo shows the Intel Pentium 4 processor. So the processor causes the input and the output operation to occur. This is the processor you can find on the motherboard. जो image 1 है, इसमें processor जो show किया जा रहा है वो अपनी कूलेंट के साथ और फैन के साथ है. कूलेंट और फैन प्रोसेसर को कूल करने के लिए यूज़ किया जाता है, बिकॉज इट इज़ प्रोसेसिंग द इंस्ट्रक्शन वेरी फास्टली और ये बहुत जल्दी वार्म अप हो जाता है. सो देयर मस्ट बी सम मैकेनिज्म टू कूल इट डाउन. इमेज नंबर 2 में आप प्रोसेसर को देख रहे हैं जिसको CPU सॉकेट के अंदर रखा जा रहा है. इसको रखने के बाद इसके ऊपर कूलेंट रखा जाता है और इसके ऊपर फैन लगाया जाता है. Now comes to the part of CPU. CPU consists of two parts: arithmetic logic unit that is called ALU and control unit that is called CU. So both contains register or high speed storage area. So register is also a very special kind of memory that usually lies inside the processor. So hard disk, memory and register. और कैशे. इसकी डिटेल में बाद में आऊँगा why this hierarchy of memory is used in the computer system. Parts of CPU: arithmetic logic unit. The ALU performs arithmetic and logical operations, and then the control unit. So these are the two parts of CPU. The control unit translates each instructions and then carries out that instruction. It directs electronic signals between the memory and ALU and also between memory and the input and the output device. So control unit is basically like the brain. For example, जिस तरह आपने पानी का ग्लास भरना है. So सबसे पहले आप पानी का ग्लास उठाएंगे, हाथ से ग्लास उठाएंगे, that is supposed to be empty glass. Then आप इसको टैप के नीचे लेके जाएंगे and then you open the tap and then you will be observing until it fills. जैसे वो भरने लगेगा आप टैप क्लोज कर देंगे. So ये तमाम काम जो आप हाथ से कर रहे हैं इसको कोई कंट्रोल कर रहा है. Something is there to control all these things, and that is our brain. So something in the computer that controls all the things, that is the control unit actually. Machine cycle. Each time the CPU executes an instruction, it takes a series of steps. The complete series of steps is called a machine cycle. It It consists of 4 basic operations for every instruction. These 4 operations are fetch an instruction, decode an instruction, execute an instruction, and store the result. As you can see in the figure, that 2 of such operations are related to the main memory, because it fetched that instruction from the memory, then decode the instruction, and decode is done by control unit, and then it execute the instruction, and the execution part of that is done by ALU in the processor, and then for storing it again uses the main memory. So a simple CPU that is consists of 2 parts, control unit and ALU, it fetches, its control part fetches the instruction from the main memory, और जब वो fetch कर लेता है instruction को, वो ALU part को देता है for the execution. सबसे पहले वो decode करता है, decode करने के बाद वो ALU को देता है, and then after the execution ALU write the result of that instruction in the main memory. Now let's see step by step that what these instructions meant. So fetch and instructions mean before the CPU can execute an instruction, the control unit must retrieve or fetch a command or data from the computer memory. Decode an instruction, before a command can be executed, the control unit must translate that command into instruction set. Now what is the instruction set? Instruction set is the set of instructions that can be executed by the processor. So it depends upon the type of the processor. So the control unit translate or convert that instruction into the instruction set, and then it gives these instruction set to the ALU unit for the execution. So executing the instruction is executing the instruction same, and storing the result, then after the ALU execute that instruction, it store the result of that instruction in the memory if it is required for the future use. Now RAM is the random access memory. It is the main memory of the computer system. It consists of electronic component that stores data including number, letters of alphabet, graphics and sound. Any information stored in the RAM is lost when the computer is turned off. So RAM does not store any information permanently. RAM on the motherboard. So in image 1 you can see the RAM slots. So there are 2 RAMs in the motherboard, और ये इसके साथ आपको फैन एक नज़र आ रहा है, उसके नीचे सिल्वर कलर का जो कूलेंट है दैट इज़ द फॉर द प्रोसेसर, और इसके नीचे एक प्रोसेसर है, और प्रोसेसर के साथ 2 रैम्स मदरबोर्ड में माउंट हुई हुई. इमेज 2 में यू कैन सी हाउ यू कैन install the RAM on the motherboard. Now the other form of the memory is read-only memory. Read-only memory or the RAM is the memory that is attached on a chip that has startup directions for your computer. It is a permanent memory. So this is where you can find ROM, और इसको BIOS भी कहा जाता है. इसमें कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शंस होती हैं जो कि परमानेंटली स्टोर होती हैं, और वो इंस्ट्रक्शन क्या होती हैं कि कंप्यूटर जब भी बूट होगा, जब भी स्टार्ट होगा, तो उसने ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को लोड करना है. सो उसमें ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम को लोड करने के लिए और बाकी डिवाइसेस को चेक करने के लिए तमाम की तमाम इंस्ट्रक्शंस दी होती हैं, एंड दे आर परमानेंटली स्टोर इन द रीड ओनली मेमोरी इन द ROM. You are not any user who is using the computer system is not able to modify those instructions. Now amount of the RAM in computer. So RAM is actually the main memory in the computer system. It is measured in kilobyte or megabyte. 1 kilobyte equals approximately equal to 1000 memory location. That is 1000 byte, and 1 megabyte is approximately equal to 1 million locations or 1 million bytes. A memory location or byte usually store one character. ये हम आगे जाके देखेंगे कि एक बाइट एक कैरेक्टर कैसे स्टोर करता है. Computer with 8 MB of memory can store approximately 8 million characters. 1 megabyte can hold approximately 500 pages of text information. Now comes the cache. It is a temporary storage for instruction and data for processor. Usually it has two levels. Level 1 इसको L1 कैशे कहते हैं, built in the microprocessor, and capacities ranges from 8 to 256 kilobyte, and this is very costly memory. इसका साइज जिस तरह से बढ़ाते जाते हैं इसकी कीमत उस तरह से इंक्रीज होती जाती है. Level 2 cache, it lies outside the microprocessor and ranges from 64 kilobyte to 2 megabyte. So cache is not upgradable. It is set by the type of the processor purchased with the system. So cache, आपका प्रोग्राम जब भी स्टोर होता है, that is stored in the hard disk, right? In the form of the file. You can browse and you can see those files. When you execute that program or when you open that file for editing purpose, let's say, so the content of the file is transferred to the memory, and then on the screen it opens the file in the editor, and when you start modifying that file, तो उसकी जो content है वो जो बहुत छोटे content हैं, बहुत very few in numbers, जिसको आप just modify कर रहे हैं, they are transferred into the cache, right? ये memory की hierarchy क्यों रखी गई है? Because रीडिंग एंड राइटिंग ऑपरेशन, सीपीयू ने क्या करना है कि हार्ड डिस्क मेमोरी से रीड करना है, एज वी हैव सीन इन द बिफोर इन द प्रीवियस स्लाइड, कि सीपीयू ऑलवेज फेच इंस्ट्रक्शन फ्रॉम द मेमोरी, इट डिकोड दैट इंस्ट्रक्शन into the instruction set, or you can say it translate that instruction into the instruction set and then gives that instruction set to ALU, and then ALU execute those instructions and then store the result in the memory again. इस तमाम ऑपरेशन में, इस एक साइकिल में आपने मेमोरी को 2 दफ़ा एक्सेस किया है, सीपीयू ने मेमोरी को 2 दफ़ा एक्सेस किया है. So reading and writing operation from the memory is very time consuming as compared to the cache. इसकी वजह वो मटेरियल है जिनसे रैम या कैशे बनाई गई हैं. सो कैशे में अगर इंस्ट्रक्शन मौजूद हो और सीपीयू उस इंस्ट्रक्शन को कैशे से उठाए और रिजल्ट उसका कैशे में ही स्टोर करे, दैट इज़ वेरी फास्ट प्रोसेसिंग. अगर वही इंस्ट्रक्शन उसको रैम से उठानी पड़े या हार्ड डिस्क से उठानी पड़े, हार्ड डिस्क से अगर उठाएगा तो वो और ज़्यादा स्लो हो जाएगा, बिकॉज रीडिंग एंड राइटिंग ऑपरेशन इन द हार्ड डिस्क इज़ वेरी स्लो एज कम्पेयर टू द रैम, एंड रीडिंग एंड राइटिंग ऑपरेशन इन द रैम इज़ वेरी स्लो एज कम्पेयर टू द कैशे. सो जिस इंस्ट्रक्शन ने नेक्स्ट एग्जीक्यूट होना है, दैट इज़ ट्रांसफर्ड फ्रॉम द मेन मेमोरी टू द कैशे, और सीपीयू अभी करंट इंस्ट्रक्शन को एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा होगा और पीछे नेक्स्ट इंस्ट्रक्शन की क्यू लगती जाएगी. सो इस तरह से सीपीयू विल परफॉर्म फास्टर. नाउ कम्स द आउटपुट डिवाइसेस. Output devices make the information available for use. Two output devices more commonly used are printer and computer screen. So printer will give you the output in the hard form and the computer screen give you the output in the soft form. So printer produces a hard copy of your output. and the computer screen produces soft copy of your output. Storage devices. These devices are used to store data when they are not being used in memory. For example, hard disk. आपने फाइल ओपन की, so जब भी फाइल ओपन होगी, when you double click any file, for example you double click Microsoft Word file or any notepad file or any video file or any audio file, the content of that file is transferred in the RAM and then it start executing. आपने कोई टेक्स्ट फाइल ओपन की, ओपन करने का मतलब ये है कि उसके कंटेंट मेन मेमोरी में ट्रांसफर हो गए हैं. यू एडिट दोज कंटेंट and then when you press the save button, it takes the content from the main memory and write it into the hard disk. So hard disk is the permanent storage medium. The most common type of auxiliary storage used on personal computers are floppy disk, hard disk, CD, DVD, etc. यहाँ पर मैंने कुछ images show किए हैं hard disk के. The first image on the left side is the hard disk जो कि अपने सीलिंग के अंदर पैक है. सेकेंड इमेज में उसकी अपर सीलिंग हटा दी गई है. यू कैन सी द प्लेट्स, हार्ड डिस्क प्लेट आपको नज़र आ रही हैं. द थर्ड इमेज इज़ द CD और DVD एंड द फोर्थ इमेज इज़ द फ्लॉपी डिस्क. फ्लॉपी डिस्क आज से 10 साल पहले बहुत कॉमन थी, बहुत यूज़ की जाती थी, बट नाउ डेज इट बिकम एब्सोल्यूट. Floppy disk. A floppy disk is a portable, inexpensive storage medium. It consists of a thin, circular, flexible plastic disk with a magnetic coating enclosed in a square-shaped plastic shell. So this is the different part of hard disk. You can see the plastic disk. This is the plastic shell in the blue and the plastic disk in the black. That is a circular and very thin and very flexible plastic disk. Now the hard disk. It consists of one or more rigid metal plates coated with a metal oxide material allow data to be magnetically recorded on the surface of the plates. The hard disk plates spin at a high speed of typically it is 5400 to 7200 revolution per minute RPM. Storage capacities of hard disk for the personal computer ranges from 10 GB to 20 GB, that is 1 million byte are called a gigabyte. So 1 gigabyte is 1 million byte. So usually जो हार्ड डिस्क आजकल मार्केट में अवेलेबल हैं वो 200 GB और 1 टेराबाइट तक हैं. दैट मीन्स 1000 बिलियन बाइट्स, 1 टेराबाइट. हार्ड डिस्क इन कंप्यूटर सिस्टम. इमेज 1 में आप देख रहे हैं कि हार्ड डिस्क ऊपर इंस्टॉल की गई है और इमेज 2 में आपको हार्ड डिस्क राइट साइड पे बॉटम में नज़र आ रही है. Now the compact disc. A compact disc, also called an optical disc, is a flat, round, portable storage medium that is usually 4.75 inches in diameter. A CD-ROM, जिसको बहुत commonly आजकल यूज़ किया जाता है, is a read-only memory, is a compact disc that uses the laser technology for recording music. In addition, it can contain other types of data such as text, graphics and video. Any kind of data that you want to store in the CD-ROM, you can write it on the CD-ROM. The capacity of CD-ROM is usually 650 megabyte of data. Now let's see the structure of CD-ROM. A CD-ROM drive usually has a small plastic encapsulated disk that can store data. This information is retrieved using a laser beam. इस चीज़ को हम डिटेल से देखेंगे कि लेज़र बीम से कैसे वो इंफॉर्मेशन फैच की जाती है और कैसे इंफॉर्मेशन राइट की जाती है CD-ROM में. A CD-ROM can store vast amount of information because it uses light to record data in a tightly packed form. So you can see the image of CD drive, and in the center of that drive you can see the drive motor that actually rotate the CD-ROM, and then the laser lens that read the data from the CD. And this laser lens, you can see the moving path of that laser lens. ये laser lens अभी बिल्कुल मोटर के साथ है, ड्राइव मोटर के साथ है. इसको जब इसको मूवमेंट रिक्वायर्ड होती है तो ये मूव करता हुआ आगे भी जा सकता है और पीछे भी आ सकता है, एंड मोटर से उस डिस्क को रोटेट किया जाता है. सो नाउ यूजिंग दैट लेजर you can read every part of that disk. CD layers. The thickness of the CD can vary between 1.1 to 1.5 mm. A CD consists of 4 layers. The biggest part is clear polycarbonate. The second is a very thin layer of reflective metal, usually aluminium, on the top of polycarbonate. Then a thin layer of some protective material covering the reflective metal, and then the label or some screen letting on the top of the protective material. So these are the 4 layers of any CD-ROM. CD versus magnetic media. In a magnetic medium like floppy or hard disk, the surface is arranged into centric circle called track. So you can see in the figure कि आपको इसमें सर्कल नज़र आ रहे हैं. So सबसे छोटा सर्कल है, फिर उससे बड़ा and so on. So you can easily count these circles. So number of sectors per circle is constant for all the tracks. So जो लाइन्स शो कर रही हैं, these are the sector. Now हर एक सर्कल के अंदर same number of sectors मौजूद होंगे. For example, if you count, there are from the innermost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 circles, और हर सर्कल के अंदर then sectors मौजूद हैं. This is the storage medium of magnetic disk. Now let's see the CD-ROM. A CD-ROM has a single track start at the center of the disk and spiral out to the circumference of the disk. Now in that figure you can see that it's a single circle जो कि spiral out हो रहा है till the end of the disk, and this track is divided into the sector of equal size. So इसमें sectors हैं और हर sector का size बराबर है. Now how CD drive works. Information is recorded on a CD using a series of bumps. These bumps are called pits because they are looking like pits in the polycarbonate layer. So pits is like a cavity. The unmarked area between the pits are called land. The lands are flat surface area, and the information is stored as a pits and lands on CD-ROM. It cannot be changed once the CD-ROM is mastered, that is, once you have written the data in the CD-ROM, you cannot change it or modify it. This is why it is called CD-ROM, read-only memory. So in this figure you can see the cavity area is the pit and the plane surface is the land, and this represents the data on the CD. Usually pit represents zeros and land represent ones. अभी हम इसके ऊपर बाद में आएंगे कि ये 1 और 0 की फॉर्म में डाटा क्यों सेव किया जाता है. A laser beam is thrown on the surface of the disk. The light is scattered by the pits and reflected by the lands. Because pit is a cavity area, so वो light जब पिट पर पड़ेगी वो रिफ्लेक्ट बैक होके वापस नहीं आएगी, और जब भी लाइट लैंड पर पड़ेगी it get backs. So these two variations encodes the binary zeros and ones. A light sensitive diode pick up the reflected laser light and convert the light to digital data. So this is how you can see, जहाँ पर पिट है वहाँ से लाइट स्कैटर्ड हो जाएगी और लैंड एरिया से लाइट एज इट इज वापस आ जाएगी. इस फिगर से आप क्लियरली देख सकते हैं, जो कि लेफ्ट साइड पे फिगर है, उसमें पिट मीन्स 0 एंड लैंड मीन 1. सो पिट से लाइट रिफ्लेक्ट हो रही है और लैंड से लाइट रिफ्लेक्ट होके वापस नहीं आ रही. नाउ कम्स द मदरबोर्ड. सो दिस इज अ image of a typical motherboard. You can see the processor on the top of that image, and then there are some RAM slots. There are 2 RAM slots typically on a motherboard, and then there are some PCI slots that are shown in the white color. There are 3 PCI slots shown in that motherboard. PCI slot में आप कोई भी external card, sound card, graphics card, network card, कोई भी इस तरह कार्ड लगा सकते हैं. Your computer could not work without motherboard. It ties everything together. So everything that is connected on the computer system is actually connected to the motherboard. It allows every part of your computer to receive power and communicate with each other. Everything that runs the computer or enhance its performance is either the part of the motherboard or plugs into one of its expansion slot or port. Now the BIOS chip. A BIOS chip, basic input-output system, is a very important computer component. In simple terms, the BIOS chip wakes up the computer when you turn it on and reminds it what part it has and what they do. So BIOS, जिस तरह हमने शुरू में देखा था, रीड ओनली मेमोरी, एक ROM होती है जो कि मदरबोर्ड पे इंस्टॉल होती है. दैट इज़ एक्चुअली अ BIOS चिप. उसमें कुछ वेकअप इंस्ट्रक्शंस होती हैं जो देखती हैं कि कंप्यूटर के साथ कौन कौन से पार्ट अटैच हैं, उस कंप्यूटर ने ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम कहाँ से लोड करना है, कहाँ से बूट करना है. So this is image of a BIOS on a motherboard. इसमें आप एक सेल भी देख सकते हैं, that is for the power of the setting that the user has made on a BIOS. Now let's come to the unit of memory. The smallest unit of a memory is a bit, and 8 bits consist of 1 byte. One kilobyte is 1000 byte, and 1 megabyte is 1 million byte. 1 gigabyte is 1 billion bytes. Now what is a byte? The question is, now, all the information that moves through your computer is based on 2 commands. That's all, just 2. The 2 commands are on and off. They are symbolized by 1s and 0s. So computer knows the language of 1 and 0. That means the computer knows the language, binary language, no other language. The memory chip in the computer are divided into thousands of tiny compartments called bits. And each and every bit has an electronic switch or gate. On means that the gate is open and letting electricity through. The computer reads on or open bits or switch as number 1. The closed switch are off because electricity cannot go through it, and computer reads it as 0. Now 8 such kind of switches makes up a byte. So combination of 8 bit is 1 byte. So जितनी भी RAM में आप देखते हैं कि RAM की कैपेसिटी है 8, for example RAM is 1 gigabyte. So उसमें 1 gigabyte इस तरह के इलेक्ट्रिसिटी स्विचेस इंस्टॉल हैं उस RAM के अंदर. उनमें से कुछ स्विच ओपन होते हैं, कुछ क्लोज होते हैं, इट डिपेंड्स। अभी मैंने कहा कि कंप्यूटर सिस्टम सिर्फ बाइनरी लैंग्वेज अंडरस्टैंड करता है, but how comes when I write some alphabets on the computer, it reads that alphabet and it display it on the screen? इस चीज़ को भी हम बाद में देखेंगे। So 8 such kind of switches make 1 byte. In that group of 8 bits, there are 256 possible combination of ones and zeros. इसको थोड़ा सा हम डिटेल से देखेंगे कि 8 बिट्स जब भी हमारे पास हों तो हम उसमें से 256 कम्बिनेशन किस तरह से निकाल सकते हैं। इसकी एग्जांपल हम नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में देखते हैं। द ग्रुपिंग ऑफ 1 and 0 विद इन अ बाइट इज कॉल्ड बाइनरी कोड। फॉर एग्जांपल 1101 0101, that is an example of a binary code, and this code is actually understandable by the computer system. Binary code is the language of the computer. Now, how to make combinations? Suppose you have 2 bits. In the previous slide, we talked about the 8 bits, and using 8 bits, we can make 256 possible combinations. Now, suppose you have 2 bits, and how many possible combinations you can make using these 2 bits? The answer is 2 raised to power 2, that is 4. So why it is 2 raised to power 2? The 2 in the base is because a bit value can be 1 or can be 0. So any single bit can have 2 values at maximum. Either it is 1 or it is 0, and 2 in the power means that there are 2 bits actually. So that's the answer is 4. Now let's assume that we have 2 bits that are represented by A and B. The value of these bits could be 0 and 0. A is 0, B could be 0, A could be 0, B could be 1, A could be 1, B could be 0, and both can be 1. So you cannot make any other combination other than that. So this means that there are actually 4 combinations that you can have using 2 bits. Now therefore if we have 8 bits, then it is 2 raised to power 8. This means that we can have 256 possible combinations. Example of a binary code. When you type in letter A on your keyboard, what happened? Electric signals are sent from the keyboard to the CPU, and these electric signals actually are on and off. And अगर कंप्यूटर साइंस की लैंग्वेज में देखें तो this is actually a binary code that is generated against a key that you have pressed on the keyboard. The CPU turns the signal into the binary code. Then the CPU sends binary code on the monitor to display the letter A. All of that happen in an instant. So when you press any key from the keyboard, एक उसके अगेंस्ट सिग्नल जनरेट होगा, सिग्नल गोज टू CPU, और CPU उसको बाइनरी कोड में कन्वर्ट करेगा। बाइनरी कोड में कन्वर्ट करने के बाद CPU sends that binary code to the monitor, and the monitor display that letter A or any letter that you have for जिसकी आपने जिस लेटर की भी आपने की प्रेस की होगी उस लेटर को वो डिस्प्ले कर देगा। Now what is a megabyte and what is a gigabyte? 1 megabyte equals to 1 million bytes. A computer with 512 megabyte of RAM, that is random access memory, means that computer can handle 512 million bytes of RAM. 5 million bytes means that RAM is capable of storing 5 million characters, because one character usually take 1 byte. Hard disk space is also measured in bytes. A 200 GB hard disk drive has 200 billion bytes for storing memory. To get an idea of how much on and off, 1 and 0 data a computer can store, imagine pressing any key 1 billion times, how long would it take? Can you think of it? एक ही की को आप किसी भी की को 1 बिलियन टाइम्स प्रेस करें, that means it generates 1 billion character, and 1 billion character means that it is capable of storing 8 GB of data. To get an idea of how much on and off data a computer can store, imagine processing any key 1 billion times, how long would it take? So आप कीबोर्ड में किसी भी की को 1 बिलियन टाइम्स प्रेस करें, so हर टाइम पर 1 बाइट जनरेट होगा, and the total amount of data that will be generated is 1 gigabyte. You would have to press a key 5 times in a single second non-stop for over 6 years to reach 1 billion keystroke, and 1 billion keystrokes equals just 1 gigabyte of memory. Think about that the next time when you think a web page is loading too slowly. There are a lot of characters on that web page, and each of that character is represented by a binary code. That is all for the lecture today. Let me summarize about today's lecture. In today's lecture, we have seen what content we will cover in this course. इस लेक्चर में हमने देखा कि कंप्यूटर सिस्टम के क्या क्या कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं, एक कंप्यूटर सिस्टम के कंपोनेंट्स किस तरह से काम करते हैं, so that that computer system is become useful for the human being, what language that computer system understand. हमने देखा कि मेमोरी रैम में किस यूनिट से रिप्रेजेंट किया जाता है, that is bit, and what is a byte, what is megabyte. इसके साथ ही हमारा आज का लेक्चर ख़त्म होता है. नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में we will start from the computer software and binary numbers, the conversion between binary to decimal and decimal to binary. That is very important to know before starting the programming language. And maybe in the next lecture we will start flowcharts. That's all for the today. See you in the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.